Okay, so this has been a long time coming.
The British Jedi.
If you stumbled upon this video, this is the first video on this channel. I'm not new to YouTube, I've been doing it for a fair few years now, and I've got a movie review channel, so you can go check that out in the comment section below. I'm excited about this. I've been thinking for the last couple of days, like how I'm going to launch this channel, what's going to be the first video, and what's better than starting right here with why I love Star Wars and my personal Star Wars story. So I must have been 4 or 5 years old, maybe younger, when I first watched Star Wars. My dad taped the original trilogy off the TV for me because I think at that time VHS tapes were pretty expensive. Like, I don't even know if they had released the Star Wars films on VHS at that point. I got them much later, but at that point I had all 3 original cuts on videotape, complete with adverts and everything, because I think one day they showed them all back to back, so they were taped. And I ran that tape out. Like, that tape became unwatchable. You know what VHSs were like when you'd get like the fuzzy lines and like it would become unwatchable and the sound quality would almost disintegrate. So really that's where it started for me. From that point on, I was obsessed. I had a load of hand-me-down toys from the 70s, like original toys that got beaten and battered up over the years as I was a kid, because obviously they weren't like boxed toys, right? They were used, very well used. A lot of them didn't have accessories and stuff like that, so I played with them too, and I used to come up with my own stories as a kid. It really was a drought of content for a kid my age. I had the movies. That's literally all I had. I had the original trilogy. And then we got those special editions in the late 90s, and I would have been in primary school, and I went to see all 3 of those in the cinema, and I have good memories of that. Even though my opinion on the special editions have changed many years later, I still have fond memories of finally being able to see those movies on the big screen. And also just seeing new footage, because as a kid, a young kid at that point, after seeing the original cuts, like, I was in love with seeing new footage. Like, it was so cool to me. Then the prequels came out, and with the first one, with Phantom Menace, I was absolutely in love. And I was that age where I could enjoy it, and Jar Jar Binks didn't bother me. I think by Attack of the Clones, I had grown a little bit tired of it, and I was more into other things. And Attack of the Clones was probably still my least favourite even at that time. Revenge of the Sith came along and my interest had been kind of reignited, but I still had a few problems with it, and I was looking back at the prequels thinking, they're not so great. While I love the concept, the stories and stuff like that, there was a lot of problems with it. Most of the problems I have with the prequels are problems that most people don't have with the prequels, and we'll delve into that in another video. I want to stay as positive as I can. So yeah, after the prequels, really, it was just a long period of video games and books and finding new things about the Star Wars universe, because there was that period from Revenge of the Sith that was just almost like dormant. Like, Star Wars started to just fall into the background for a lot of people. Like, we had this real low moment where nothing was happening. You know, George Lucas said, it's done. The 6 movies are done, put to bed. And obviously fast forward to Disney buying Lucasfilm in 2012, everything came back, and what a perfect title for The Force Awakens. Like, the hype to that movie coming out was just something I'd never witnessed, and I still love that movie. I love the sequel trilogy, and a big part of my channel is going to be about defending all of the Star Wars movies. They're all great movies, just some of them aren't great Star Wars movies, and that's what we're going to talk about throughout the lifetime of this channel. I was bullied as a kid a lot, and I want to talk more personal on this channel. Like, I don't do that on my movie review channel because it's very structured, it's very formal, and I kind of want to give myself a more professional image on that channel where I'm talking about movies and I want to get screeners from studios and I want to get some attention and be able to do written reviews and like be taken like seriously as a critic if I can. But really this is a platform to speak a little bit more personally, and the reason why I chose Star Wars is because it's my main passion when it comes to movies. Star Wars is what got me into everything. It shaped who I am and it shaped who my family are in a way, because my brother is a huge Star Wars fan, my dad is a massive Star Wars fan. Really, it sounds corny, it sounds cheesy, but this is the series that gave me my confidence in life. Like, being bullied as a kid, I never had the confidence to do what I wanted to do, and struggling with depression and anxiety and all of that shit. Like, Star Wars is the one place that would never judge you. Like, you could just go and watch a Star Wars movie, not feel judged, or, you know, you would leave your problems at the door and you'd lose yourself in this entirely new world where anything's possible, and you can be a Jedi, you can be a Sith Lord, you can be a bounty hunter, a smuggler. Like, there is so much to the Star Wars universe to get lost in, whether it's books, comics, movies, games, board games. And I relied on that throughout my entire childhood. Like, I would play with my figures and all of that, like, come up with new stories, come up with stories that would follow the original trilogy. That's what I did as a kid. Like, I didn't go out much, and that's mainly because I just didn't trust anyone. Like, looking back, I just didn't trust other kids because I was so heavily bullied, and I was moved around a lot as well. So, like, I just had I had major trust issues with a lot of people. Like, I could never get too close to anyone. I'd just kind of get to a certain point and build friendships and then shy away from it. Like, not want to go out and meet them and not want to do this. I just want to recluse. And Star Wars has always been that. Like, when the new movies came out, I was going through a rough time in my own head, anxiety and depression and all of that stuff. And Star Wars was there again. It literally makes up who I am. I find it motivating, I find it inspirational. On a creativity side of things, it's influenced everything I've done in terms of creative choices, from being in bands and writing music and taking inspiration from world building, because my music would always be concept albums were my favourite thing to do. Like, the latest album I put out, my band Jersey Bones, is a concept album, really just taken from the hero's journey, which is inspired by Star Wars for me. Sure, there's other movies that I love, but nothing as deep as Star Wars. Star Wars is always there. Nothing beats the feeling of going to the cinema, and I think the most powerful experience I ever had was watching Rogue One in the cinema and literally coming out, bawling my eyes out, because it just taken me back to a place of complete innocence, because it was so close to the original trilogy, and seeing Tarkin again and seeing Vader on the screen as I always saw him. Not so much that we saw in episode 3, but the actual, you know, like, original Vader that wasn't screaming no, but it was like a menacing Vader, which is what I absolutely wanted to see. And I just remember being blown away. Like, I loved that. I'll always remember, of anything, seeing Rogue One, which happens now to be one of my favourite Star Wars films. And obviously The Last Jedi, I wanna just bring this up because I want to do a whole different video on Last Jedi. I'm going to have guests on, we're going to do all sorts. But The Last Jedi, I still really love, and I'll probably get a load of hate from Star Wars fans about Last Jedi ruining this and ruining that, and do you know what? You like what you like, I like what I like, and that's what's great about film. And that's what's great about Star Wars. We all have our favourites, we all have our dislikes. Sure, there's things I'd change in Last Jedi, but there's things I'd change in Empire Strikes Back. There's things I'd change in Revenge of the Sith. They're just, you know, there's little things that I would change. And Last Jedi is no exception. Rise of Skywalker is a movie that I absolutely adore. And then moving on with, like, you know, Solo, a Star Wars story. I loved that film. Probably one of the most underrated films ever released. Ron Howard did a terrific job with Solo, and I can't wait to cover that as well. And then we have Mandalorian, we have all the new TV shows, we have loads of new Star Wars games announced, and I'm a big gamer as well, so we can talk about games here. I want to deep dive into comics and novels and lore, and, you know, talk about just individual characters and theories about the films and theories about where it could go, and might even come up with my own concept episode 10, 11 and 12 in animation form. I'd love to do that. There's so much I want to do and get my creativeness flowing here. So guys, join me here on this journey over on the British Jedi on YouTube, and I hope you guys will be here for the ride, because I really look forward to talking more Star Wars with you. I'll see you guys next time. May the Force be with you.
The British Jedi. Subscribe now and leave your thoughts in the comment section.